I'm gonna wink into the camera over and over again now. All right. I'm here with Gates. They're another one of these Jersey bands that we have so frequently.
Hello.
Why don't we just run down the line real quick and...
I'm Dan, I play guitar.
I'm Kevin, I sing, I play guitar.
Ethan, I also play guitar.
Mike, I play bass.
I'm Dan, I play drums.
Two Dans.
Two Dans. Always.
So how do you differentiate when you guys are just yelling at one of you?
King and Crap.
King and Crap?
We also
Why do they call you
him
Crap?
Arms.
That's his last name.
Crap and Zano.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
a
was
little
like, come on, man.
shortened version.
Our first band practice, he was given the nickname Arms, too.
Arms.
So he's just Arms. And that's the true Dan.
Arms and Dan. I'm just gonna refer to you as Arms the whole time.
All good.
So you guys just had a record come out.
Yeah, in October.
Yes, it's very good. I like
Thank
it a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
How was this record? How were you like, let's do something that isn't
Well, this
different
one,
than the last one?
This one's our debut full length, and before that we did 2 EPs on our own. Kevin recorded them, and on the second one, You Are All You Have Left to Fear, we got Mike Watts in the mix when we re-released it. So he mixed it again, and we got it remastered and everything. And that was such a great experience that for the full length we went back with him. So
That's awesome.
We kind of took remixing You Are All You Have Left to Fear essentially as like a trial run.
Okay.
We wanted to feel comfortable in the studio that we were going to do our
Yeah.
full length at. So we had about, I think it was a week and a half of remixing You Are All You Have Left to Fear, and we kept in close touch with him over the time period between remixing that and doing Bloom and Breathe, and it was a no-brainer for us to go back with Mike. It was the first time we've ever really given a lot of control to somebody else, I guess you could say.
Did you do a lot of producing on it?
Mike?
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, we went in there with 13 songs, and those were
Yeah.
the 13 songs that went on the or 15 songs rather. But 13 songs made it to the record, and he was fairly hands off. Like, he wasn't like, that part's garbage.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. He
did for a few of my vocal parts.
Yeah.
Me and him co-produced this, whereas I just did the first two, and I think like he really let us do what we wanted song-wise. There's not many times where he said something about that, but yeah, he kind of did that, and I was more of the like, let's put this big bass drum out in the room and play it on this one part type of ideas stuff that he would then say was a stupid idea, but then when we did it, he ended up liking it. So, yeah, we definitely played off each other really well, I thought.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the first record, Kevin, did you mix that?
Yeah, I mixed Sun Will Rise and recorded it, and I mixed and recorded Fear too, but when you guys
said you had it remixed.
Yeah, he remixed it, and I always thought Sun Will Rise was great for what it was. I feel like I accomplished something great, but I also thought it was like I could see it from an outsider's point of view.
Yeah.
For some reason, kind of just the way I joined the band, and most of those songs instrumentally were pretty close to being done. I just kind of added vocals and guitar over them, and so for some reason there was this weird disconnect where it was like,
Yeah.
all right, this is easy to mix. And then Fear came along, and it was just the total opposite, like a horror show.
When you're mixing, you're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it was like, I finally thought I was getting somewhere, and I'd send it to them, and then everyone hated it, and it was like this. Then we ended up just setting a deadline, because it was like, all right, I keep trying, and it's not coming out well. So like, I never felt good about the final product, which I think is what really pushed the ultimate choice to get it remixed. Mike obviously killed it on it, and we decided to continue to work with him. I've loved him since I was in college. I thought he was so awesome. He's one of the reasons I got into recording, so it was really weird just to be able to...
He's worked on a lot of our favorite records, so he was pretty much number one on our list to go to, so it was pretty incredible that it worked out.
Yeah.
Did you fanboy out a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Totally. And it's cool because Mike Watts became like the 6th member of our band.
Yeah.
And he's got such a great ear, and we all respect him so much, and it was just really cool working with him, and just living in the studio for a month and just making Bloom and Breathe happen, which was you know, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time with it.
When you guys were recording, did you like stay at the studio and stuff?
Yeah. We were there for the long run.
We did. I think it was 5 weeks. We stayed there.
Yeah.
It's 5 weeks that we stayed there. We realized we kind of had a deadline for finishing the record, but when we realized that, like, we had, I think, too little of time to finish the record, like mixing and everything. So we were just like, screw it, let's take all of this time and just make sure that what we're tracking is perfect and what we want. We went on tour for I think a month and a half, came back with fresh ears, and did the mixing another week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it was.
And then mastering on top of that.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks, but we were doing it like. At the end there, it was like he would mix a song all day, and then I would stay up all night tweaking it, and then he'd get up and tweak that.
Yeah, it was like each. Yeah. He would mix it, Kevin would mix it, Mike would build off Kevin's mix, then they'd like do it together.
Okay.
And we'd all just kind of figure it out together.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Okay, so you were talking about your first record and how you came in later.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys end up meeting and like starting Gates and all that? Because I didn't even I'm assuming contextually that you joined after they had been playing.
Right. Me, Mike, and Dan, other Dan, we were playing in a previous band together, and we met up with Ethan, so he joined the previous band, and we decided we wanted to change things up a little bit. So that's when Gates started, and we knew we wanted a third guitar player who could also sing, so we put up some videos online, and you know, we were searching for a singer, and Kevin responded. He sent us vocals over the song we posted, and we were just really into it. And the first time we jammed with him, it was really cool. And then we went to someone's house and
pool party.
Yeah, we were just swimming and shit, hanging out, and it was really cool. So after that, we were just we were Gates.
We had like because he moved from Michigan to the New York City area. And
I actually I moved to upstate New York first before that. I was living up there completely by myself. I was working at Levon Helms Studios, which was Levon Helms' house.
Okay.
And it was super awesome, like surreal experience for me. But they never paid me a dime, and I just ran out of money. So I decided to move to New York City for some dumb reason. I thought that would be a good idea. But
and your friend found the post, right?
Yeah,
you didn't even
my
see
best
the post.
friend sent me the post. I remember seeing it, but just being like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
there's no way I would ever be in that band. And my friend sent me the post. I really wasn't thinking of like playing music again, but I think the sheer isolation of being, living in a studio apartment by myself for 8 months, and the only people I really talked to were the guys that I worked for. So I didn't really have any friends at that particular time, and it was very like isolating, and I just wanted to just interact with people again. So I was kind of looking for like a band just to play with, and that just kind of happened to come my way one day, and I was like, all right, I had this neighbor that I would make a peep, and he would like knock on my door and tell me to be quiet, which was funny because his TV was always so loud I couldn't even hear myself think, but I was like, I'll just try to get this demo done, and I did the second half of Burned Us Alive, which is on Sun Will Rise, pretty much verbatim what it is on the record now. I definitely changed the lyrics and things like that, but like the melody is pretty much there, and I sent it to them, just being like, I don't know, I have no idea if this is good or not, and yeah, Ethan called me back like real short after that, made sure I wasn't playing like a Jackson Flying V or something. I was like, what kind of guitar do you have?
Do you have a BC Rich?
Yeah, like, I really was tempted to be like, yeah, I have a double neck, Dan Electro, or some crazy thing like that. But, yeah, I didn't even have an amp at the time. I borrowed an amp from the studio for our first practice. But,
that's right.
Yeah, I went down there and practiced with them. The whole thing was really weird for me, totally surreal. I remember seeing the videos that they had put up and be like, there's no way I'll ever be in this band, but whatever, I'll send him something. So for me, it was really cool to like actually be playing music again, and I feel like they took a chance on me, not knowing me at all, and here we are.
Yay!
So, other Dan, and Mike, you guys were playing in a band before that?
Mike and I have been playing in so many bands together. And,
you guys grow up together?
Pretty much. I
mean,
a
little bit.
A few towns away from each other. We've been probably playing together since like 2007 or so.
Right. And
various bands.
Since like that time period, we were trying to start something like Gates, but you know, it was just like us two at first, and then, you know, we played in a band previous to this one, and then it was just like a work in progress the whole time, and like that's the hardest part about forming a band, just getting the lineup. Yeah. Where it's like, you know, all the dudes get along and can write and well together.
Play the same stuff.
And, yeah, as soon as we all got together, it was really cool, and we just went for it, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, where did you guys grow up at?
Us Jersey? Yeah, New Jersey. Just scattered around New Jersey. Kevin's from Michigan. Yeah. Ethan's from Nebraska.
Nebraska?
Yeah. So.
What is there to do in Nebraska?
Right?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Actually, Lincoln, Nebraska is really cool.
I love Nebraska.
Yeah.
I will be back.
I've never even...
Always.
Nebraska is pretty underrated. Like, the first time we were out there, I was like, Nebraska.
The thing is,
I
just have nothing in my mind.
It's that viewpoint that keeps Nebraska awesome, because it's like nobody wants to go there, so all you get there is just Nebraska, and it's awesome.
Nebraskans.
Nobody wants to go
what
there.
happens in Nebraska.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it.
When did you end up coming out to Jersey? Like, how did you come into this equation?
I was in another band. I was living in Arizona at the time, and I quit that band after a tour in 2009, I think. And then I had formed a lot of relationships with people in New Jersey and New York City.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was not wanting to go back to Nebraska, because I, at that point, kind of felt like I was letting myself down, or not taking full advantage of opportunities that I wouldn't have had, you know, had I not been in this band. And so I went there, and I had a few friends that were like loose mutual friends with these three. Mm-hmm. And then the original singer of Gates, essentially, their old band, just asked if I wanted to come in and jam. And then we just did that for a while, formed Gates, had a member change, found him, and that's how my equation began, I guess.
From listening to your guys' music, I hear there's a couple of bands that stick out to me that I'm like, oh, it sounds like this. But I think the biggest one would have to be Dredge. And I gotta know, do you guys listen to Dredge?
It's so funny because I've never heard somebody actually say that. But I used to listen to Dredge a lot.
Nobody knows who Dredge is.
Yeah.
I don't.
I've never heard of Dredge.
You guys,
it's mad funny. My old band played a show with Dredge, and I was so excited, but nobody nobody had any
like, who's this?
But I was so stoked.
They've
really been
cool.
played in the van a few times. Very few times.
That's like, because especially the like tremolo picking with the way on it, I was like, Dredge move.
I think more so than Dredge. I mean, I know Ethan's heard of Dredge, but a couple of us haven't. I think more so than that, the biggest influence to go the 3-guitar route was Explosions in the Sky.
Oh, yeah.
The Earth Is Not a Cold Dead Place was like the first record where they had everyone just play guitars, you know? And I think that was like the initial influence to go that route, and then just add vocals.
Yeah.
So
we never really talk about music, or like where to take things, or what to do, or
just
like
kind of
what we're shooting.
Out.
Yeah, it's just, and it's also in the same context. We all listen to completely different music, so it's, you know, nothing's really ever contrived in our writing process, and it's never like, we need to go more post-rock on this one, or whatever. It's, you know, it's just 5 completely different influences coming together that somehow sounds cohesive enough for people to say something like that.
Was there any like goals you had when you guys were writing your new record that you're like, even like personal stuff, you're like, maybe I want to do more of this or less of this?
Yeah, we wrote it, I mean, amongst other things, but we kind of took a different it's not really a different writing approach, but we, for pretty much the entirety of the record, wrote it all together, like in one room, together, guitars, drums, bass. Whereas on You Have Left to Fear, it was like, you know, Mike and I would write one part, or King and I would write one part, and then that would get emailed to somebody else, and parts just kind of, you know, it would build that way. Whereas with Bloom and Breathe, it was a really organic process that was very... it was a breath of fresh air. I think it was what we needed, like, as a band, to feel comfortable with that record.
Yeah, I think our only goal was to play off of each other more and allow each other's strengths to kind of pop out as opposed to like trying to play over everything.
Yeah, it was like we wrote 5 cool parts like individually for each part. It's 5 cool parts, but you put 5 cool parts together and it sounds like garbage.
Hear? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't hear anything.
So it's funny. I always kind of laugh when bands say it, but it took us, it took us 4 years to figure out how to play music together.
First time I saw you guys was this past summer at Spring Fling
in
Lakewood.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like I had heard of you guys before. I was like scrolling through like the list of bands. I was like, oh, Gates. I went there and just instantly I was like, oh my God, this is
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man. We're glad you got to catch the set.
And then we saw you at Mahal's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That was. I'm trying to remember exactly who played that show because we went to
Played
two
it a
really
few
close.
times.
Were you in the basement or
You're upstairs.
Pentimento tour?
Yeah, the Pentimento
cool.
one. Because it was Pentimento and who else?
Mercy.
Have Mercy.
Yeah.
That was awesome because I went there and was like, I feel like I'm at like I had a top shelf compilation with like most of the bands on it, and it was like 70 songs that I'm scrolling through. I was like, oh, they're playing. But that was awesome. That was a great tour. Loved it.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun on that one, and both bands are really cool, and like it was just sweet hanging out with them, and it was cool because all 3 bands at that point were basically creating our full lengths and stuff, so we were showing each other early demos, which was really
awesome.
cool. Pentimento would show us some stuff they were working on. We'd show them rough mixes.
You guys get a lot
Mercy
of
would show
feedback
us
from
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like not so much like feedback, I guess. Like we would just
It's just cool to get like your friends'
just sharing
opinions on
sharing
those.
music early on before anyone else really gets to hear it. And
Hey, I got these leaked ones.
yeah,
Nobody's ever heard this Gates song.
yeah, but it was cool just talking about stuff that hasn't really been released yet with those guys, and I think we all really bonded on that front.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming out today.
Of course.
thanks for
I had
having
a great
us.
time. You guys have a fun show tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Cool.
Heck yeah.